Guys, welcome to another series of Trading Up. This is where I start with a £100 CB500 Honda and I trade my way up to a brand new £10,000 motorcycle. It's been quite a relatively straightforward journey so far. If you haven't seen where we're at, well, we sold the CB500, we made some money, and then we went and bought a Honda CBR 600RR and a CX500 with the profit. Hopefully, we may even sell the CX500 today, but we've got loads of work to do on the Honda CBR 600RR, so come along for the ride. You know, when we're doing trading up, it means we've got to be in a business frame of mind, which means we've got to commute into work. So here I am with a commuter, hardly drivable, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed to start it because the missus said so, because it's too loud and she's on a work call. So we're going to have to roll our way to work today. What a shame. Oh, what it is to be a single man. I made it to work, by the way. Right, on the last episode we had issues with that alarm, so let's go and tackle that alarm now, shall we? That is really beginning to bug me. Right, here you can see the alarm that we're going to bypass. It's one of those rubbish Data Tool S4 red alarms. This is the box we need to open with a special hex screwdriver they've given us, because it's some sort of security bolts on there. And then we've got the bypass. So let's whip this off and see what it looks like inside. Okay, the first lot of connectors have been disconnected. We've got to disconnect that white tab then, and then fit this. So fingers crossed all. Right, the bottom one has been removed. Plug goes in there. Job done. Fitted. Right, backing plate back on. One brand new battery. All we need to do now is see if we've got any ignition. Please, God, please, fingers crossed. We've got no alarm noises going off. So let's just give it a try, shall we? Come on, guys, fingers crossed, everyone. Oh, hello, and we hear a fuel pump as well. Excellent news. Well, we've got absolutely no fuel in the tank as of yet, because obviously we've cleaned all that out, so I need to go and get some petroleum, and then we'll see if she does actually run. But great news. A huge dash of petrol has been inserted into the CBR 600RR tank. Oh, I'm a little bit worried, I must say, but let's just get on with it. Okay, bypass the alarm, been fitted, you've just seen that. New battery. What I did do off camera before I put any fuel in was I turned the bike over a bit, which it does turn over, which is great, just to let it lubricate the engine a bit because it's been sitting there for ages. So I filled the fuel tank up, it's got loads of petrol in there. As I say, new battery, bypass, everything we possibly could want to get it started. So this will be the first start of this CBR 600RR in, I think, 13 or maybe 14 years. So we'll let the pump do its thing. And now I don't hear a pump. That's odd. Right, okay. Obviously this bike's been sitting for a long while. When I was playing with it yesterday, I noticed that quite a few of the switches were very stiff. So I thought, I'm going to pull them apart and give them a clean. I haven't yet, but I did think about doing that. But anyway, I started playing with the switches here. The kill switch obviously needs a good clean as well. It's priming the tank now, thank God. We'll try that again. There we go. So yes, I need to clean all the switches in there. I knew it wasn't something major, but there you go. We found what the issue is, so you're going to have to give all the switches a good clean. As I say, the flasher unit is really stiff, the indicators are really stiff, and obviously it was the same for the kill switch. So you will give some contact cleaner to all that. But now, let's try again. Come on, CBR, be good to me. Sounds like she wants to go. Come on. Let's try not to cheese off the neighbours too much as well. Come on. I know it's been a long, long time. she wants to fire. Come on. I'm going to give the air filter a quick clean. You never know. I can't sit doing huge amounts, but if it doesn't fire, we'll change the plugs, because I think it will go, but... Oh, at least it's priming, without me having to judder it. Sounds like we're running on 3. Come on. But it sounds okay so far. Oh, I can smell, it smells bad, by the way. It smells bad. There's probably all sorts of stuff that's climbed into the exhaust as well, thinking about it. It's running. We're going to let it run for a bit and see how we get on. We don't have, or we have got a fuel injection light. That may go out, we may have to look into that a bit more, but I don't think it's running on all 4, but I don't want to touch the throttle at the minute. Oh, so let me play about a bit, a little bit more, and see if I can get it running just that little bit better. Right, I'm not even convinced it's running on 3 cylinders. I think it's probably more like 2. I think we've got ourselves one of those rare CBR 600RR V twins. So I think the best thing we can do now, the engine runs and it sounds good, so I think we can now throw a bit of money at it. It needs new plugs. There's no point running it like that. It sounds, yeah, doesn't, well, it sounds fine. The engine sounds fine. It just isn't running on all 4. I think it's running on 2. So worst case scenario, we might have to check, yeah, change the coil pack, but we'll see. I think new plugs will do it a world of good. So we're going to change the plugs, give it a full service, and then we'll start looking at investing in new tyres, new chain and sprocket and whatever else. Because you can make this mistake, guys, of having a project and then throwing all the money at it and then realising, actually, it's a complete bag of nails you've got. In fairness, this isn't. This is going to clean up lovely. You won't even know that this bike's been sitting for years and years. So we're quite lucky from that standpoint. But yeah, I'm always a little bit cautious about throwing the kitchen sink at it. So what we do is we'll get a service kit, we'll give it a proper service. We'll go from there. I did think while we're here, why don't we just put a bit of chemical fuel injector cleaner. Put a wadge of that in there. See if that helps matters, because touching the downpipes, they all seem rather hot. You'd normally expect some to be extremely hot, but they all seem extremely hot, which is a bit odd. I'd expect one to be, you know, quite a bit cooler if it was only running on 3. So I'm not sure if it's an injector thing or whatever else, because it's idling well. So just then when I give it a bit of throttle, it then plays up. So maybe a little bit of this might help. Who knows? But we've got to pull the plugs anyway. I'll give it a while, see what happens. Right everyone, a little update on the Honda CX500. I tell you what, a lot of you have been so interested in this little bike. I'll be honest, the little Honda CX500 didn't really ever do too much for me, if I'm honest, but the older I get, the more I'm beginning to appreciate them, and I actually really like this one. It's such an original bike, low mileage, 31,000 miles. Anyway, you know all of that. We've got loads of work going on with the CBR 600, but we have some good news when it comes to CX500. Obviously, as you saw last week, the bike is now running, and we have found a new owner for her. A lovely chap called Dave, who lives in Southampton, has decided to take the little CX500 as a little project for himself. He's going to give it a full going over. He's going to give it a full service. He's going to go through the carbs anyway. So yeah, when he was sort of saying these sort of things to me, I thought, you know what, he's the right guy for this bike. I mean, we could do it ourselves, but I mean, we've pretty much done that with the CB500 anyway. So the whole point of this is we're not trying to get too mechanical on the CX500. We just literally wanted to do a quick flip, sell the bike, and get bit of money back in the bank to help fund the CBR 600, which is becoming it's getting a little bit expensive with that bike. But anyway, she sold. And what did she sell for? Well, she sold for a grand sum of £1,500, which I don't think we can argue at. To be honest, I did have a couple of better offers. They did come a little bit after Dave had done the deal with me, so yeah, I could have stuck out and I could have got a bit more. We could have serviced it and got a bit more, but that was not the point of the CX500. The point was to say you can just buy a bike, do the bare minimum, and then make a bit of a profit. And that's exactly what we've done here. And the most important thing about all this, guys, is she's going to a good home. Someone's going to give her a full once over. And yeah, I'm looking forward to updates on the little CX. So yeah, there she is. She sold. Bad time. So what we need to do now is we need to get her ready for the courier. Farewell to the CX500. It's been emotional. She's off to live in Southampton with her new owner, Dave. Very sad. Oh well, we've got loads of work to do on that CBR 600RR, so we better go and get busy. Right guys, as you just would have seen, the CX500 has now departed. We'll go into the numbers at the end of the video just to let you know where we are at on our profit and loss making exercise. Are we up? Are we down? I think we all know we're probably up on the deal, but we'll go into that at the end of this episode. What I have done so far on the CBR 600, it's not an easy bike to work on, I'll be honest. I've had to remove all the fairings here. As you can see, there they are. That was a pain in itself. And I've changed the plugs. I've taken all the plugs out, which is an utterly horrific job. It's dreadful. I've had to move the radiator forward. I didn't bother filming loads of it. I'll show you a close-up of what I've done because it's the most boring video in the world. So as you can see, we have had to remove all the fairings, which isn't a bad thing, but it was an absolute nightmare job, so we can give it a good clean in there. But anyway, this is where the plugs are. Up the top here, which you can't actually, I can't even see with a phone, let alone my hand. So it was pretty ridiculous, actually. To get to the first one was really very difficult, to be honest. And then imagine going further along there as well. I had to put together the strangest socket you've ever seen with all different sort of UV joints on there just to get in there. But we finally did it. We scraped a lot of knuckles, but they're all done. But while I was there, I did check all the coils to make sure that we had a spark, and we have. So yes, I've got bruised and scraped knuckles, and I'm not particularly happy at this point, but we've got all the plugs in, which is a notoriously nightmarish job. And I think the first interval for changing the plugs is about 16,000 miles. So yeah, it's not a job. Yeah, it's an ridiculously expensive job if you went to the dealer to get done. Luckily, we can do it ourselves, but let's try it now and see if it's any better. Come on, please be good to me. No, in the word. No, it's not any better at all. So we've changed all the plugs, we checked all the coil, we know all the spark is all good. So I think our next plan of action is probably to change the throttle position sensor, which is under here. So I'll look at ordering one of those. What I will try and do first of all is I try and run a diagnostic on it just to see if we get any fault codes. That's probably the best thing we can try and do. I have ordered a little Honda version. I didn't have one for the OBD reader. It's just turned up, so we'll give that a go. Right, I've got the little plug socket in there that goes into the OBD reader here and goes into my code reader. I'm getting nothing at all, which is a little bit infuriating. I'm not actually getting any power. That's odd. Okay, come on. I'll tell you what is happening now though. The fuel injection light is flashing. which it didn't do before. It came on and stayed on. But now it's giving us a flashing. So this, what you normally do with these Hondas is when the fuel injection light flashes, you can count how many flashes you're getting, should give you a bit of a diagnostic to what the potential issue could be. So one moment. So we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're getting 8 flashes from the fuel injection light. So I will just check that online and see what it could possibly be. Right, I've just had a Google and I've just seen that 8 flashes normally means TPS, throttle position sensor. So we might actually be onto something. I'm kind of pleased at that, actually, surprisingly. I'm kind of pleased at that. So what we're going to have to do now is order a throttle position sensor and just keep our fingers crossed that it's that, because it's nothing electrical down on this side with the plugs or the coils. They're all fine. I've checked them all. They're all good. So yes, the next thing is just to hope it's a throttle position sensor. So let's get one ordered, and as soon as it comes, I'll whack it on the bike. So fingers crossed all. And as if by magic, a new TPS, throttle position sensor. Right, let's get all these gubbins off here and get it fitted. Oh, I'm hoping it's this. Right, looking around the bike on the side here, you can see the throttle position sensor, but it does say take the airbox off, but we don't need to do that because we've got all the fairings off anyway. So yes, we'll remove this and then we'll get to, you know, the little TPS. Let's just hope it's that. Right, did it fight me coming off? Of course it did. Of course it absolutely did. Look at the state of that rounded off in there. It was a nightmare to get off. Lucky thing, we had a punch set to get it off. It took about 20 minutes. We got the first bolt out, no problem, but yeah, as you can see, this is just corroded and yeah, absolutely knackered. So at least we can go about fitting the new TPS sensor. TPS fitted, right. Are we going to be lucky or are we not? It's running a million times better. Right, let's warm it up and see, but I'm hoping that has done the job. Fingers crossed. Oh, that was a bigger pain than I thought it would be, but... Right, let's give it a good warm up and come back. Okay everyone, the CBR 600RR is running so much better, which is great news. But I'm still getting the tiniest little twinge from the throttle, which, you know what I'm thinking now is I think I might just give the injectors just a clean. I know I might be being a little bit precise, but the bike has to be 100% right. Yes, we could just ride it and it was probably clear, but I want to do it 100% right. So I am going to pull the injectors and give them a bit of a clean. But now it's running fantastically well. I think that's maybe why the bike was laid up for a while. I think the TPS had given up. The guy didn't know what it was and just left it, and then obviously that was what the problem. So fantastic news, that part is sorted. But anyway, what have we spent? How much money have we got? Well, that's a very interesting question, which I'm going to go into right about now. Okay, so as you know, the Honda CX500 has gone to Dave in Southampton. Here's a pic of Dave with the bike. So the numbers, we started off with a £100 Honda CB500. So after deducting that £100 and any other little bit of money, I'm talking about any money I've spent, this is all profit now. Nothing at all has been left behind. We now basically have a Honda CBR 600RR all paid for, nothing left to pay on that. And we have £1,480 in the kitty. I think it's very likely that we're going to be spending around about 400, maybe 480 quid on this CBR to get it up to scratch. So that means we've got another £1,000 just sitting there. So do you know what I'm thinking, guys? I think we need another quick flip. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy another bike. And another bike we're going to do absolutely nothing with. We're going to buy it, we're going to flip, I'm going to walk you around it, and I'm going to put it up for sale and see if we can make a bit more money. But yes, basically, all that money I'm talking about, the 1480 plus the CBR 600, this means the CBR 600 is all accounted for in that. So we owe nothing on this at all, and we've got that in the bank. So everyone, please have a guess in the comments what you think this little CBR 600 RR will sell for. I've got a rough idea, but I'd be interested to see what you guys think. But yeah, another quick flip. We can't just let the money just sit there and do nothing, right? It's got to work for us. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to work for us. So in the next episode, you're going to see another quick flip bike. So I'm hoping you all enjoyed that, guys. I have. It's been a lot of work on this little CBR actually, but it's been enjoyable. So in the next episode, we'll clean the injectors and we'll start doing the more basic stuff like changing the tyres, and yeah, I'll change the oil as well. We've already done the filter and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun. So please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.